All right, we're live. Chris, did you see Zalatoris with the win?
Yes, I did.
It's very proud.
Finally.
Finally. Do. I put Gardos in the title.
I saw that.
Are you erasing it? I kind of like Gardos.
Yeah, keep yours up there.
Nick, Gardos, yes, no?
Oh, I'm a fan of it. I like Gardos.
All right, good. Alrighty. There we are. I wonder if we're ever going to get back Twitter comments. I miss seeing those on the show.
Elon's got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Chris, how you looking?
Ready to go.
Let's do it.
The Big Play Reflog Show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News is the place to be for all your gaming needs. The latest news, guides, walkthroughs, and reviews, like their featured article reviewing the brand new open world hunting game, Way of the Hunter. And remember to check out their weekly Shack Chats, where the staff discusses topical events and games. You can always join in on the conversation by using the Shack News Cortex. So if you're a gamer, Shack News is the site for you. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the handle @CheckNews and @CheckNews.com.
It's time! Streaming live from Cleveland, Ohio! Presenting the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight podcast of the world, The Big Play Reflog Show!
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I know damn about it. Attacked by Chuck. He's to the 10. He's the front to the 5. Dips outside 50. Touchdown. Redeemed one. Away. Back to goal. You're doing those baseball.
It's time! The Big Play! Reflog Show!
Welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. What is going on, everybody? I'm your host, Big Play Dave, alongside Chris McNeil and Nick Padone. Chris, welcome to being out of the rock that you were under. I saw that you went to the feast for the first time.
I
How was
did. The Feast of the Assumption there in Little Italy, there in Cleveland. I'd never been before. You guys have both been?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been
Yeah.
every year for 23 years, Chris.
Wow. I'll tell you what, some good eating there. Amazing and very, very packed. And shout out to somebody on Twitter, though, that gave me the down low on where I needed to park there at Case Western for easy in and easy out, because I was in and out really easily there. So, but yeah, it was a great time. That was just a lot to take in, a lot of great people watching, a lot of great food. I'm still kind of digesting all of that, but good stuff, Dave. That was a good Sunday.
Heck yeah. The feast, that is the place to be. Nick, what is going on, man?
What's happening?
Not much. I pulled my back golfing. I was bragging about my score online, and then immediately after, just pulled my back and I can't walk.
The karma train, the internet karma train. I went to the feast.
Nick.
I went to the feast this weekend too. It was good.
Now, what did
What'd
you
you go
eat?
with?
What did you eat? What do you eat when you go there? Because I had
So-
some stuffed peppers. I had some calamari. It was really good.
Yeah.
At the restaurant we went to. I mean, there's so many options that you could eat something different for each day of the week for like a month there.
Yeah,
But,
you really can. So usually I just roll with the cavatelli and meatball. Can't do wrong. A nice little styrofoam bowl. This year I
Okay.
went heavy on the dessert, so I got a couple different cannoli options. I'm big into the cannoli. You got Corbo Bakery down there.
Oh,
Always a hit. Yeah,
so good.
I go straight for the cannoli stand.
Good stuff. All right, we got a packed show, so we're going to get right into it. We've got Guardians to talk about. We got Browns to talk about. We'll kick it off with Cleveland headlines, brought to you by TSE Cleveland. Then on to our featured interview, brought to you by Labatt Blue, talking Browns with Browns Twitter legend Jeff Lloyd. First time on the show, by the way. Haven't had Jeff on. Excited to talk with him. And then we'll round it off with a round of Stump the Flog. Nick, I believe you won the last time we played.
Yeah, and I also heard that I open up as an underdog for this stuff.
You are the underdog to Chris. Minus 175 to McNeil on this one.
this must be 1986 Browns trivia.
Yeah, I know. I had a
Pre-Nick.
feeling. Yeah, that's so tough.
You'll be all right.
I'll be all right.
You'll be all right. All right, let's kick it off with some Cleveland headlines. Cleveland headlines brought to you by our good friends at TSE Cleveland. They've helped us give away a ton of signed Browns merchandise, so make sure you are following them at TSE Cleveland on Twitter and keep up with our show tweets for awesome monthly giveaways. We are moving to monthly giveaways. We're going to do some big ticket items. Let us know what you want. And we really, really need a new graphic. We've got Baker. We've got Austin Hooper jerseys in that one. That's not good.
At this point, we just kind of got to lean into it.
Remember
Just
when we were
keep it
doing
forever.
betting? Our graphic
Yeah.
was OBJ, and it was
Right.
like that months and months after. Yeah, we got a whole new
Just roll
roster.
with it. Just roll with it.
As you saw, week 1 preseason. So Browns looking at like we could be the offseason champs once again, 24-13 over the Jags. We'll get more into this with Jeff Lloyd, but just biggest takeaways from first preseason, actually seeing football on the field. Nick, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, it was exactly what I kind of expected out of the first preseason game, to be honest with you, Dave. I know the memesters online were having a good time with Deshaun Watson. He's going to be a little bit rusty. And then some of the,
A little bit.
I mean, very, yeah, but he hasn't played football in a year as a preseason game. But the thing you want to see in the preseason is your young guys play well. And that's exactly what happened. MJ
Right.
Emerson had a nice interception. Jerome Ford was really the star of the
He
day.
was a stud. Yeah.
Joshua Dobbs surely laid out his case for QB3. All in all,
Sure.
I was good with it besides the Nick Harris injury. That was really the thing that you walked away from that game saying, man, if that didn't happen, this was otherwise a pretty solid outing.
Yeah, 5 seconds in. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, Joshua Dobbs, I'll tell you what, he looked pretty good on the field. He was better than Watson on the field. He was also better off. I think Watson delivered that kind of pseudo apology that everybody's
Yeah,
been talking about.
That was
Which, once again, I don't know what we're doing. He's trying to really walk both, straddle both sides of this thing where he's like, I'm not doing it. I didn't do anything. But at the same time, I apologize for what I may have done. It's like, okay. But Joshua Dobbs on the field, he was great. And then that interview afterwards, did you guys catch that?
yeah.
He was fantastic. He was fantastic. I mean, this is a smart kid. He's obviously very talented in the classroom and on the football field right now. And who knows how it shakes out with him. But I walked away from that very impressed by him.
And one of the highest truck stick ratings out of the quarterbacks in all of Madden.
Very solid.
All the important stuff there. And so now we're on to more practice. Kevin Stefanski said a lot of starters are probably going to probably rest second preseason game.
Oh, you think he learned a little lesson in the second snap last week? Only year 3 here, coach.
Is anyone playing? Is anyone going to play?
I mean,
that
probably
hurt.
Deshaun Watson is going to play.
You
Maybe.
think?
Yeah, probably. I mean, if they already
No.
announced Brissett's out, I would be.
Yeah.
I really would be surprised if Watson didn't get another drive or two, especially with how just bad that he looked in the first game. And they got to figure out some of the timing stuff. I know the popular thing on Twitter this week was how bad Anthony Schwartz was and the kind of cut Schwartz movement. They ain't gonna cut Anthony Schwartz, folks. Let me tell you. So they got to figure.
He was pretty horrible.
Yeah, he was, but they got to figure it out on the field because there is nobody else, and he was a 3rd round pick just a year ago. So they got to figure that out, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Throw to Schwartz multiple times this game and see if he can catch a football. Why not? Couldn't hurt.
That
There's
one
no
where
one
Watson,
else I'm looking forward to.
the one where Watson rolled right and it was really nice pocket awareness and kind of just crept up the pocket. Jedrick Wills got cooked and then just right off the hands of Short. I'm like, what are we doing, man?
It hit him in the chest. It was right in his chest, right in the numbers.
Oh my goodness! I mean, it's probably different. Last year the quarterback would have got sacked and fumbled. So just a learning adjustment for everybody. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But we'll get more into that with Jeff Lloyd. Let's talk some Guardians because they've been incredibly fun to watch. Coming down the stretch, every game counts. Cleve Guardians tweeting it out on Twitter. Hetty says the boys need to hear you this week. We need loud at the ballpark. We're playing Detroit. I think we're still down right now. No reason we shouldn't go 3 or 4 against Detroit. We're in first place for the first time since mid-June. 2.5 games up right now. Minnesota and Chicago. Do you expect fans to start showing up more and getting ready for some playoff ball?
Well, I looked at tickets for Saturday today because I'm going to the game on Saturday, and I can tell you there's still plenty of good seats available.
Sure.
But it was less than I would have expected. So, there are some fans coming out. I know that's going to be the fireworks. It's kind of the end of the summer for kids. So I expect this to be a pretty well-attended weekend. Hopefully it is. Because this team, like you said, has been, and that's our magic word on this show, fun, just like the Cavs. But they haven't lost a series since July 10th. It's been incredible. What a great run for this team, a very young ball club. You have your 14th player making their major league debut for the Guardians this year, another young kid who's our pitcher for the second game. So you got a lot going on with the Guardians, a lot of good reasons to go out to the ball yard. So I'll be there Saturday. Hopefully more and more people start showing up as we get closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, this reminds me of the Cavs, and I think we've talked about that before. Same young, energetic team, fun. But I think the difference with this team, especially in baseball, this team could easily make a decent playoff run. Like you look at the Cavs, and you're like, okay, they're winding down. They're not going to make a run. They're hopefully maybe win a play-in game. But this team, even though they're young, they could go out and do some real damage in the playoffs.
They got to stay hot, though.
The starting pitching has been really, really on fire here lately.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you,
Savali looked great today.
Yeah, he did. And the Slim Reaper has been out there just killing it. It's been fun to watch.
Chris, what would your playoff starting rotation be if you had to do a top 3? So what do you think? Bieber, McKenzie, who would be your third?
Cal?
Yeah, he's been pitching great.
You could go Savali.
Just lights out. I mean, you go 4 deep and then Savale. I mean, if he keeps this up and he gets hot, there's your 4.
Yeah,
right.
I'm telling you, you have starting pitching, you got a chance.
They got to stay this hot, though, man. There's a lot of ball left to be played. It's just a 2.5, game lead in the AL Central. We know the Twins could get hot too. The White Sox, I know they're really falling back a little bit, but they got some big time bats. I don't think they have the starting pitching that could hang with the Gardos, but yeah, we'll see. I'm making that catch on.
The more we say it, the less I like it. I might be falling back.
Damn it. No,
it's horrible. But I'll tell you the other thing. We play defense.
Yeah.
We play defense, and you really can tell that when you're playing a team like Detroit, who doesn't play very good defense, and you see the kind of struggles that they go through. And we've had that, obviously,
Yeah,
being a
last year.
Cleveland fan in the past. We've seen some very bad defensive efforts. And this team, they really put the effort in on the defensive end of the ball. So that's good to see. That's good to see. That's going to bode well when you get to the playoffs. And nobody tends to hit as much in the playoffs. So our defense, our pitching, that's really going to win the day. So get us there and then roll the dice.
That's right. I'm just hoping we haven't peaked too early, because after the Tiger series, we've got 15 straight games against teams with winning records. So this is going to be a very interesting couple of weeks here for the Gardos. I can't say it. I can't do it. I can
Does
type
guard
it,
sound better? Does guard sound better for the guards?
The guards. I can say that easier. I don't know. We'll brainstorm.
It's
something.
one syllable versus two, so that makes it, guard.
Jeff Lloyd's just shaking his head. Gardos. Yeah, all right. Let's move back to the Browns. Let's pivot again. It is featured interview time, brought to you by Labatt Blue. It is time to talk some Browns with Jeff Lloyd. Let's get it going. All right, on the Labatt line, we have host of the Locked On Browns podcast, Mr. Jeff Lloyd. Jeff, what is up, my man? Welcome to the show.
Okay, couple things first, guys. Gardos, I get where you're trying to go with it, but doesn't it sound like Hardo? And Chris, you're totally with me here. The dad who's annoying at the kids' events. That's where Gardos doesn't work. But the other thing is, as far as the Guardians defense, I try to tell everybody. Everybody knows I'm a Mets fan. When Lindor came, Jimenez, an absolute star in the making. And Rosario, these guys could play. They could play. They could play good defense. They run. They play. So it worked out. It was a trade that worked out. But Gardos, that has to stop. Just has to. That's not working.
Completely agree with you. Gardos
Jeff, I put it on paper.
Just go G's. Honestly, if anything, just say G's.
All right.
Guards works.
G's.
Guards works. We can do guards.
You're trying, man. You were trying hard on this.
We were. Let's just go Browns. Let's go Browns, Jeff, because we had a long off season. You were on Browns Twitter. You know how long it's been. We have some football. I know you've been talking about it. Thank goodness. Who impressed you the most in the first preseason game?
I think it's probably a toss-up. And it's weird because this team, who did not start drafting until late in the third round, Martin Emerson, obviously you have to, just the first thing was just the overall size of him. You see guys in uniforms, you see them in, when they played in college, arms, length for days. And then you saw how he was able to use it, obviously, on the interception, very physical. Jerome Ford, it was when they drafted him, it was like, all right, well, here's a good player that probably should have been here when you drafted him, but what in the world are you going to do with him? I mean, you have Dearness Johnson, you have Kareem Hunt, obviously Nick Chubb's not going anywhere. Are you sure you really need this player? But if he's really good, it doesn't matter what position he plays. You try to stack your roster with the best players you possibly can. And that's obviously certainly what Andrew Berry did. Isaiah Thomas, he drafted in the 7th round, 2 sacks, tackle for loss. Just another 6'5", 270-pound defensive end to put the rest of their arsenal. So guys really came away, really were impressed with what they could do. And look, you don't, nobody really worries about depth until you need it, but you want to make sure you have it. And I think that's what you kind of saw from some of these players, Friday night against Jacksonville. These guys can play. They absolutely have a ton of talent. We'll see how much their number gets maybe called in 2022, but these guys certainly can play.
Yeah, one position that we might not have as much depth on is wide receiver. I feel like Anthony Schwartz, obviously he struggled Friday night. He could be the Andrew Sendejo of Browns Twitter this year. I'm concerned about him. How concerned are you with Anthony Schwartz after some drops in that first game?
Well, the thing is, there's you either want to stack positives, but you don't want to stack negatives. And for Anthony Schwartz, you start stacking negatives, you're wide open twice, make plays. You have 4.2 speed. We think, okay, you get the ball in your hands. It's an opportunity for you to take it to the house. And for him, it's tough. And I understand part of it. I was a wide receiver. I took some serious hits back in the day. And I think a lot of people don't underestimate how bad of a hit he took against the Patriots last year on a kickoff return. I mean, it was bad. It was crushing. He was out almost a month. So you're always going to have that chirping in the back of your head. You have that thought process of, man, here it comes again. But, you do everything right. You create separation. You run your route. You break it at the correct spot. The easy part is catching the ball. And that's the one where it's tough, because I think the Browns, they're trying to say to these young kids, look, we don't want to do this. We don't want to bring in a veteran. We're trying to give you guys this opportunity. Yeah. But this team is talented. This team has expectations, regardless who the quarterback is. This roster is well constructed. This team has expectations. They don't want to go out and do this. But if they cannot step up, if they basically force the Browns front office hand, they're going to have to go out and bring some veterans in. And it's going to make for a really, really murky situation. These guys really got to step up and make some plays.
What are we going to do along the line now with Nick Harris being out? What are we going to do with center here? That's very Browns-ish. Second play of the game, he goes down, leaves a big hole in a place that we already had question marks.
Well, the thing is J.C. Tretter going into any other locker room is difficult. It really is, because – look, and we talked about I know I talked about this in my show the last couple of years, it's tough when you are the president of the NFL Players Association, because you have teammates who may not agree with you. Mm-hmm. It's just a fact. They may not agree with things and stances you take. And they basically have to understand that you're representing, 1,200 players as opposed to just the, 53 within a locker room. But so if it's difficult for him to go into a new locker room, maybe it's easier for him to go into the locker room where people have already gone through this. Obviously Joe Platonio, he had been on my show, years past. He could not say enough things glowingly about J.C. Tretter. Obviously Wyatt Teller is kind of like the younger brother of that group. Ethan Process, he's there. He was former first round pick, but the fact that he's, on to the 5th year in the league and he's not with a team, and Browns were able to sign for as cheap as he did. It's a tough spot. I think what the Browns need to do is need to find a way to make this all better with J.C. Tretter. And you got to get him in here, because at this point, regardless of whatever move you make, there's still a learning curve. There's still a time of adjusting, learning the playbook, adjusting the players you're playing with, understanding the players you're playing behind you as far as running backs. You got to get J.C. Tretter in here. There's just no other way around it.
Speaking same ideology, Jeff. I want to take you though to the wide receiver room. You can make the argument that minus Amari Cooper, this is a very underwhelming unit. Do you think they could have the same approach in that room with a guy like Will Fuller? I know T.Y. Hilton's out there, who's a little bit older.
T.Y. Hilton?
I know that's probably a
How
little
old
bit less.
Is he?
He's old, but he's out there, and they do need some help, and they need some pop now that Jakeem Grant went down, right?
Well, for me, the thing is, and everybody with Will Fuller, any success Will Fuller has had has been tied to Deshaun Watson. So if you're not going to have an answer on Deshaun Watson, I don't know how Will Fuller is going to come saying, "Oh yeah, I absolutely want to go play for the Cleveland Browns." T.Y. Hilton, there's the interesting one. Jacoby Brissett, Colts ties, somebody he's familiar with. So you think that could maybe be a possibility. I don't know. With Fuller, Fuller, the weird thing with Fuller is you think Anthony Schwartz can be that type of guy. Obviously, we're not there yet believing he can be that kind of guy. But Will Fuller is an enigma. And, at this point, there's been plenty of teams who've, maybe tried to express interest. He's still not signed anywhere. And if you think he's coming because of Deshaun Watson, it's certainly not helping anything that you have zero answer to Deshaun Watson to this point, as far as when he's going to be available. T.Y. Hilton, it's an interesting one. And the thing with T.Y. Hilton is you could bring him in and maybe he could bridge a gap. And, maybe you don't think he's going to be able to give you 17 games, but he comes in and, maybe now some of these young players get a little bit more confidence, and it grows. But maybe T.Y. Hilton could be somebody that could bridge the gap until David Bell, maybe Anthony Schwartz figures it out. It's something to pursue. And, the Browns are going to have to make a decision by, obviously this weekend with them playing on Sunday. Because if these guys do not show better, you're not going to be able to look at Jacoby Brissett and just say, well, it's Amari Cooper, some running backs, and David Njoku. I mean, you're not putting yourself in the best possible spot that you need to be put in.
Speaking of those running backs, you look at that room and the competition that's there, I know has been discussed quite a bit with all four players, really good. Obviously, it seems like Chubb and now Jerome Ford are the two safest, with Chubb having the long-term deal and then Jerome Ford being a draft pick this year. What do you think shakes between Demetric Felton, Dearness Johnson, and Kareem Hunt now with his trade request?
This is where it kind of gets a little difficult because, with Kareem Hunt, and I understand it. Look, I mean, there's no running back in the world that wants to be basically on a walk year, have no guaranteed money going further. It's a really, really difficult spot, really, really difficult spot for Kareem Hunt. And I think part of it is probably, just the fact that, he wanted to come back to Cleveland after everything that went down in Kansas City. He's been the model soldier as far as understanding he is not the top back here. When he first started playing in, when it was in 2019, he agreed to play some fullback. That's what they needed. He's done everything this team has asked of him, but everybody knows he's not going to be here after this year. So for Kareem, probably part of it is, within him, like it's upsetting for him that he feels comfortable here. This has been the best position for him, but he's most likely going to have to move on. The Browns don't want to give him a contract because, God forbid, the same reason Kareem Hunt wants a contract is the same reason the Browns don't want to extend him, even though they're moving on and parting ways after this year. If Kareem gets hurt, he's in a really, really terrible spot. If the Browns give him a contract extension with the thought process of trading him after this year and he gets hurt, the Browns are put in the same terrible spot. It's terrible. I mean, you hate situations like this. The Browns are already paying more money at the running back position than they probably want to do under an analytic lens. Demetric Felton is interesting, though, because he brings the versatility. With Jakeem Grant's injury, you have a guy who can return. You have a guy who can play wide receiver. You have a guy who can spot, fill in and play some running back. That's where it's, obviously, a big, situation that helps Demetric Felton. I don't know how the Browns do this. And the other thing with Kareem Hunt is, if you look at Amari Cooper, you look at Nick Chubb, who is the guy you have the most confidence in with the ball in their hands if you're the Cleveland Browns? Probably Kareem Hunt. I don't think you're going to pick David Njoku over him. I don't think you're going to pick Donovan Peoples-Jones over him at this point just yet. They really need him, but it's a really, really difficult situation because the Browns know this situation is over after 2022. Just really, really murky, and the Browns, the last thing they need right now is more questions.
Is there anybody
enough?
So for the game that's coming up on Sunday, who knows who's going to be playing? Any position battles, anything you're going to be looking at or watching for on Sunday of the players that are going to be in that ball game?
It's certainly going to be the wide receivers. Look, these guys got to step up. There's no question about it. Like you have to grow, and that's also even part of the thing. The same thing with the defensive tackle position. Look, the Browns have Donovan Peoples-Jones. They have Anthony Schwartz. They have David Bell. You look at the defensive tackle position, you have Jordan Elliott, third-year player, similar to Donovan Peoples-Jones. You have Tommy Togiai, year 2, similar to Anthony Schwartz. You have Perion Winfrey, rookie year, similar to David Bell. The Browns have invested in these positions. You spend draft assets year after year at certain positions. We can't go out and sign everybody. We can't continuously bring in free agent after free agent. You guys got to do what you were expected to do. We brought players in here to perform. It's time for you guys to step up. And, I think the defensive tackle position, I think we're probably, and it's weird to say this, I think it's a little bit more clearer as to the way it can shake out, as the way the wide receiver room is after Amari Cooper. But look, you guys were brought in here. You were given an opportunity. It's time for players to step up and make some plays. This is what it's all about. And it's weird in some situations where Donovan Peoples-Jones is a 6th-round pick, has performed the way he has. Demetric Felton, some success last year. You don't expect 6th-round picks to be able to produce like they have with Peoples-Jones and with Demetric Felton. Mid-round picks, they're supposed to produce. So, guys, the time is now. They need you, and they've given you ample opportunity. They've done everything they can for you. You need some of these guys to just take that next step because, look, you ain't got to be a world beater. You ain't got to be Aaron Donald, but you got to go out there and be serviceable.
You mentioned him really quickly.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Sorry, you mentioned him real quick. Togiai, he's a guy, Ohio State Buckeye, who I had a lot of question marks around and really root for the guy. Looks like he may have a chance to step up this year. What do you think the prospects look like for Tommy Togiai?
See, Togiai was interesting because I don't think a lot of people thought he was going to declare the year he came out. A lot of people felt he would have benefited from another year in Columbus, Larry Johnson, obviously all that stuff. But look, the situation is made. Played sparingly, I guess I would say, as a rookie. But you did see positives from Tommy Togiai Friday night. 4 tackles. I think one of the most impressive things is, everybody loves these Browns linebackers. They think they all can move, all can make plays. What's your job as a defensive tackle? Make sure that interior offensive linemen do not get to your linebackers. One of the most impressive plays for me was, took on a double team. Basically got moved back maybe a yard and a half. So he absorbed the double team, and which his job is to let linebackers run around and make plays. That was one of the more impressive things. I would not be surprised if the shakeup works that where Tommy Togiai may end up starting week 1. Everybody wants to talk, they signed Taven Bryan. Taven Bryan, he didn't do anything in Jacksonville for 4 years as a first-round pick. He's here. He's not getting a lot of money. I think the ideal situation is the Browns say we brought in a veteran, but ideally we want the kids to beat him out. Tommy Togiai is certainly the guy to watch in that room. Perrion Winfrey is probably a guy who can contribute maybe more in nickel and dime situations as a pass rusher. Jordan Elliott looked good, looked bigger. The Browns need something in the interior. Look, we're not asking for Aaron Donald type of play because Joe Woods in his premise and his theory, he wants to play nickel and dime as much as possible. But you're going to have to make some plays in 3rd and 1, 3rd and goal, those types of situations. Tommy Togiai is certainly the guy to watch continue going forward here.
Jeff, one more before we let you go. How many quarterbacks do you think start for the Cleveland Browns this year?
Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one.
He's like, that's actually a good question. All the other ones have been crap.
No, but I mean,
with
the talk on Jimmy G, then you bring in the injury factor, Will Deshaun. Is there an over-under on this? Is there an over-under on this?
If I give you an over-under of 2.5.
Oh, that's an ugly spot.
I think I'll take the
perfect.
over. I think I'll take the over.
Wow.
But here's my premise, because where we're standing right now, we do not know an exact for Deshaun Watson. So right now you have to figure Deshaun Watson, it starts at least one game, right?
Yep.
Jacoby Brissett, obviously going to start at least one game. Jacoby Brissett is not very agile. So you could see a premise before Deshaun comes back where maybe Jacoby Brissett gets dinged, gets folded like a tent. And, oh, my God, Josh Jobs with Josh Rosenheim. Whew. Yeah, I mean, honestly, because, look, I mean, if we're going to bet and anybody's going to want to bet, do you want to, okay, well, I bet $5 and I won $7. No, you want to bet, you want to make money. So for me, if the over-under set at 2.5, I'm going to take 3. Because, I just don't know. I mean, do you think Jacoby Brissett's going to play 17 games? No. We know Deshaun Watson's not playing 17 games.
Right.
So, yeah, I would say, if it's 2.5, I'm going to take the over. There could be a chance, and that really hurts as far as what you think the overall aspirations for this team could be this year. But, yeah, I would say, if it's the number's 2.5, the Browns are probably going to start 3.
All right, we've got nothing to be but optimistic at this point of the season. We're going over. Why not? Jeff, where can everybody listen to the show? We're all fans of Locked On Browns.
Obviously now we're going into year 6 now, which is just it's crazy as fast as the time has gone. Locked On Browns available YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. It's been a fun ride here. Some changes have been made here. In the last few months, we brought in a co-host here as we've done the launch into YouTube. Just trying to, look, number one, have some fun with it. This is part of the reason we all do this. But just trying to give the best, content we can, 5 days a week, minimum at Locked On Browns, depending on whatever stories or legal situations that we have to cover as far as, covering the Cleveland Browns. But it's a blast here. You kind of long for like 2018 where there's so much promise as far as maybe where this was all going. And now we all try to pretend that, we should work for Court TV.
Yeah. Jeff, you're the best. We appreciate the time, man. We'll love to have you on sometime during the season as well.
Guys, have a great night. Appreciate you having me.
All right. Thanks, good stuff from Jeff Lloyd. Fantastic.
Over 2.5, huh?
I had to throw that out. I was just thinking about that while we were talking. I was like, I wonder what the over-under would be if we set that. And I was like,
I think you nailed it, man.
2.5. It's got to be 2.5.
It's got to be 2.5. It's a tough spot.
Oof.
He gave us a lot to chew on there, but that was the one question that definitely gave him pause. And that's always good when you can pull something like that out. And boy, it really makes you rethink the whole season at times when you start thinking about it in those terms, though. You say, oh, geez.
Yeah,
This
no
is-
kidding.
This reminds me of the old school Browns where it's like, how many quarterbacks we're going to have this year?
You guys remember when
Ah.
they signed Charlie Whitehurst? You remember Twitter
Oh,
then?
yeah.
Oh, geez. What was
Clipboard
his name?
Jesus.
Clipboard
Clipboard
Jesus.
Jesus, yes.
Yeah. Good
Do you
times.
remember when we called Rex Grossman at Thanksgiving
Yeah.
and asked him to come play for the Browns? And he's like, no, thanks.
I don't remember that one. That happened? We called
Yeah,
Sexy
I
Rexy?
think someone, I don't know if it was our GM at the time. I don't even remember what year this was,
Oh,
but like
boy.
texted him like at Thanksgiving. And he was like with his family, and he apparently he texted no thanks. And
Yeah,
this
He
is
look
doesn't
at-
even prepare himself for the Super Bowl, let alone Thanksgiving. You call him up. What kind of a response are you going to get from Rex Grossman on Thanksgiving? Come on, he's probably 4 or 5 beers in. Tryptophan's already
absolutely.
running its course. I
Well,
mean,
here's
forget
the
it.
issue. Here's the issue. I just gave myself a quick refresh on that story. So 2014 in August 12th.
Yeah.
Man, that's almost, we're 3 days away. We missed the anniversary by 3 days. August 12th, 2014, he said that he would be interested in a reunion with Shanahan. He said it's never too late for a reunion.
Oh,
That was in the
okay.
off season. But then December
Yeah.
22nd, 2014, the story came out that he had holiday plans that he turned down an offer to play for.
Oh, so is it Christmas?
No, it was Thanksgiving. He saw how the
Yeah.
season was rolling and said, "No, this ain't it."
Fat Grossman said no thanks to the Browns.
Yep, 2014. Just give it a
And
Google.
here we are.
Rex Grossman Browns. Enter. See what pops up. It's a glorious trip down memory lane.
Unbelievable.
So
Yeah, a
many
lot of-
old Browns weird stories like that.
Yeah. I liked Jeff's points on Schwartz because he's right. He is doing a lot of good things. He's getting open. He's just not catching the ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, There's
He's
that
doing everything a wide
focus
receiver
on-
should do except for catch.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to write the guy off. Like I know we're kind of
can't.
giving him hell on this show. They literally cannot afford to do that. So they need to just make this work somehow. I don't know
Yeah.
how. I think you need to do what Jarvis and them did when they got here and just crank up that jugs machine, man. Stand in front of it.
Yeah, maybe so. And then we just need to find someone to snap the ball to one of our 2.5 quarterbacks.
Yep.
Oh, God. Now you're
got a
now
kicker,
I'm
though.
depressed. Come on. Now I'm depressed about the
Cade
Browns.
York's
We're only
in
one
bonds. Let's
preseason
go,
game
Cade
in.
York.
I bought a Cade York jersey.
I know. Wow. Was that available or was that a custom job?
Oh, it was custom. I was a little disappointed. I was really hoping to.
Did you go authentic on it?
Chris, did I go authentic on a Cade York jersey? Come on.
$49.99. Let's go.
Come on, he's
Did
not.
you go 250 on that bad boy?
Who was our kicker? Yeah, who was our kicker last year?
Oh my god, I blacked out that
I
entire
know.
season.
No way, we all forgot
Oh,
Oh, wow.
stump the flog.
because it wasn't Parkey. Parkey was
didn't-
Chase McLaughlin.
Yes, Chase.
Oh, I was not coming up with that either. That's
Yep.
hilarious.
Boy,
I kept thinking Scottish Hammer. That's all I could
Yes.
think of.
how about
Well,
him
you
and
go to
Mac
special
Wilson?
teams. I've only got one thing in the Evoke set there.
I am glad that Stump the Flog is not name all of the kickers
Special
of the last
teamer.
10 years.
Phil Dawson.
Phil
I
Dawson.
come up with a couple. Travis Coons, remember him? Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Greg Joseph? He came in as the hero after Zane Gonzalez missed all those kicks,
Yeah, he was getting his master's down in Florida, and they called him, and he was like studying.
and he was kicking, warming up on the field before the game, and every kick that he made, the place just went nuts in warm-ups because it was like the game after the Zane Gonzalez.
Unbelievable.
Been through a
Are you-
lot.
Are you ready to play Stump the Flog?
Yeah,
don't
yeah, we
know.
might as well.
I couldn't even come up with last year's kicker. I'm not real enthused about this one, Dave, to be honest.
Chris,
with you.
I am going with you in this one.
All right.
Oh man,
All right, so if you've never watched the show, Stump the Flog I am going to read a question. It has multiple answers. Chris and Nick are going to take turns naming one correct answer until no one can answer the question. Person who answers the correct one last is the winner. I should probably find out what the question is. Ooh. Okay.
Oh no. Is this pre my birth?
No.
Okay.
Well, what year were you born?
98.
No, you were one. Since
All
the
right. 98.
return,
You were 1 year old. Oh my gosh! In '99 when the Browns came back.
1-year-old Nick is like, oh, I remember the old Browns. Bernie Kosar.
Two things came back in '99 that were trying to replicate something from the '60s. You had Woodstock, which there's a great documentary that came out about
I've seen
what a
it. I've seen it.
disaster that was.
Seen
And you had the
that.
Cleveland Browns, who had won a title since the '60s, and that so far has also been a disaster.
There was also a documentary about that. All right.
All right, here's the question. Since the return in 1999 when Nick was 1 year old, 14 different running backs have led the Browns in rushing yards for a season.
Okay.
Name them. So I'm going to say it again. 14 running backs have led the Browns in rushing yards for a season since the return in 99. Name them.
Okay.
I'm feeling okay.
Yeah? All right. Let's see. Nick won last time, so Chris, will let you start.
Nick Chubb.
That is correct.
Damn it. No, I'm just kidding. I'll go with Isaiah Crowell.
Yes, correct.
Feed the crow.
Peyton Hillis.
Peyton Hillis is correct.
Uh-oh. I was going to say Peyton Hillis.
Uh-oh, we're at 3.
Did RoofNet Drones do it?
Who? What did you call him?
Ruben.
What was his first name?
Rufin?
Ruben Drones?
Oh, did you say Ruben?
Yeah.
No, he said
it's not-
Rufin.
You said Rufin.
Oh, I did?
Rufin Drones.
Drones.
Rufin Drones, correct.
Yes.
Good one.
Lee Suggs.
Correct.
When was that? When was that?
is
Yeah.
cool, Chris. I like that a lot.
When is that?
Oh, that was
Remember?
2004.
Virginia Tech, Lee Suggs. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Not like this.
You got this. Nick, there's a few you should still know.
I know.
You
I'm
should know all of
blanking.
them.
Oh, I know one for sure. I don't know if I want to use this one though. I have to. I'm running out of time. I'm gonna go Jamal Lewis.
Oh, nice.
Correct.
Okay. I didn't want to use that one so early though.
He was actually 2 years, in a row.
Oh wow.
How about Bill Green, William Green?
Oh no, I was gonna have that one, Mr. Steak Knife.
2000
He fell on the knife.
2003 fell on a steak knife. Boston College, if my memory serves me.
Correct.
That is correct, Chris. Well done, William Green. Steak knife Green. Back to you, Padone.
This one scares me because I know it's similar time to Jamal Lewis. It's like in the 05, 06, 07, 08.
Okay.
Did Jerome Harrison have his own season?
Ooh, 09, yes.
Oh my God, I thought it was before that.
Yeah. He had a hell of a year. I remember that season.
We've had some random running back. Like, what do you think of these guys? It's like, they have one good year and then like, what?
Yeah.
That might be it for me. I hate to say it.
Nick, there's one more. There's two more that you would know.
All right.
3 more.
Just to me.
Yep.
I'm going to take a flyer on this one, Dave.
Are you sure?
I'm going with a Red Hawk.
Ooh.
Travis Prentice.
Oh,
Boom, baby. Nice work.
Yes!
2000, Travis Prentice.
That's old school. That's a pull, my
Yes.
friend.
I've heard of him, but
Wow.
Trent Richardson.
Oh, man.
2012,
Got
traded
that
him for a first round pick. Fleeced the Colts.
I was with my. I remember I was with my dad when that trade went down. We were at my brother's cross country practice.
Now you're talking the trade to move up to
Yeah,
get him?
no,
Because
to
he's
get rid
next
of
to
him.
Adrian
To get
Peterson?
rid.
Oh,
To
yeah.
get rid of him, and it was just.
I think everyone remembers where they were at that trade. I was sitting around a fire, and I was
Yep.
like, no way.
Yeah.
First round pick. Trent Richardson.
My dad
Nice
was like, "No,
call.
you don't get it." He's like, "That's a good return."
That's a great return.
Yeah. Oh no, but I'm
2000.
probably tapped now.
You got one more, Nick. Chris, I'm going to be disappointed if you don't get this one.
Boy.
You have had some polls. Let me see how many are left. There is
There can't be many more.
4 left. There's 4 running back left.
Oh, jeez. Can I get a hint? Can I phone a friend?
Since you lost last time, I will give you a hint. I could give you one of 2 hints here. Let's see.
Go with the older hint. Older hint.
The older hint. Chris, national championship game. Buckeyes. Did not play for the Buckeyes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, played for the U. Oh, God.
Snapped his leg and
Blew out his knee. Oh, no. Oh, no. The guy Ken Dorsey was handing off.
Yes, yo, come on, you know him. He actually had a pretty
Ken Dorsey also played for the Cleveland Browns, by the way.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. There's all kinds of connections.
There
Oh,
is.
my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Come on.
Come on. Think about it. Nick, do you have another one to defeat him if
I
not?
I don't. I have a sad guess, but I don't think I do. Because my guess is way too recent. I know that it's not.
Nick, I think your guess is going to be right. But I know Chris is going to get this.
I don't think I've got it. I know exactly who it is, too. Blew out his knee. Played for
Chris,
the Ravens. Played for
He
us.
is a Mick like us.
See, all right. Could I say mine to try to end it?
No.
Yeah, you can go for the steal. Go for the steal. Look at it.
Oh man. So okay, here's my logic, and I want to talk Dave through this. I
Okay.
know that it's recent, but I think it overlaps Isaiah Crowell.
Yeah, see, I
So
knew it. I knew it. Let me give you a hint, Nick, before you say it. I believe he got into trouble for having a threesome.
Is it Terrence West?
Yes.
Oh,
Dude,
Then he went off to Baltimore.
what year? I never remembered him
It
having
was
a good season though.
2014.
I don't remember.
Remember, I believe we lost the Crow. No, that was before the Crow. So Terrence West and Isaiah Crowell, I believe, were the same year.
Yeah, they split a
And
backfield.
They split, and Terrence West was better than him in the first year.
Jeez, I remember.
And then Isaiah Crowell became the lead back.
There's the iconic picture of Johnny going to hand Terrence West off the ball, and Johnny's facing the wrong way, and Terrence West is ready to go through this wide open hole of Alex Mack, Joel Bitonio, Joe Thomas, and there's Johnny going to give him the football the wrong direction. I can't believe I pulled that out. I think
that was a good one.
The Jerome Harrison was my luckiest guess because that was.
Do you remember how good he was?
No, I don't. That was me just naming
really?
a random Browns running back.
Yeah, dude.
I don't.
He was like
Yeah.
a back. He was like a scrub running back who just was really, really good for 1 year. Chris, did you think of it?
Yeah, I don't know who the last
Excuse me.
one could
Let's
be.
get my Diet Mountain Dew.
Who's the last
Um,
one?
Chris,
No,
did you think of it?
This
Willis.
McGahee.
There you go. Willis McGahee.
Do I get credit for that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The last one was James Jackson in 01.
Wow. So we got
never-
every single one except for one.
I don't even remember
I
James
would have
Jackson.
never got that.
That
Yeah, you
sounds
guys
like
got-
such a basic name. You know,
I would have never had what was the one that you said from the Red Hawks? Prentice.
Travis Prentice.
Travis
Yeah,
Prentice
you wouldn't
wouldn't
have got that.
No.
I
He
thought- I would've-
led all of
Ben
college
Gay might have
football
been
in
on.
home runs and touchdowns.
I was
Remember,
mad that
he
you
still
took.
made the record.
I was mad you took William Green from me.
Sorry about that. That was good though. We're hammering away at all of these. We always get down to the
That was
very
impressive.
end.
Chris, you
Yeah.
said Terry Kirby, right?
No, I didn't say.
Oh,
Terry Kirby.
there was one more. Terry
Oh,
Kirby,
okay.
99
Wouldn't have-
expansion team.
Jeez.
I actually
Remember
don't know.
NFL Blitz? Terry Kirby was in there.
Was he really?
Yeah, he also he's one of the few players ever to play on the same field in two different sports with his brother. Wayne Kirby
pretty
played
cool.
for the Cleveland Indians and
No
he played at Old
kidding.
Municipal, or like something like that. Like before he was part of the New Browns.
Me and the family when I was little went to Winter Haven for the
Yeah.
Indians when they were down in Florida, and we got to go to this party, and it was like, oh, I get to meet all of the the 90s Indians, and me and my brothers are so excited. And we get to this party, and Wayne Kirby's the only Indian there. They're like, he's like, hi, I'm Wayne Kirby. We're like, oh, all right.
You're Terry Kirby's brother.
Yeah.
So there you go. Wayne and Terry, both Cleveland legends.
Hey, round of applause to you two.
Not bad.
That was good.
I still
That was
lost
good.
though.
You know who I,
Throw Nick here sometime.
you know who I also thought though, and I knew that it wasn't this because this overlapped with Crowell too, but in the 0-6, 1-15, 0-16 time was the Duke Johnson years.
Yeah.
He always
Yeah.
had like potential. I mean, he was just a third
He
down
was right
back,
there,
though,
yeah.
So
Wait,
He
who
was
was
more
lead
out of the
back with
backfield
Duke?
guy too.
Because
I
we
think
ran a lot of two. Was that Crowell?
I think Crowell was still the friggin' running back when we went 0-16.
Or when was oh God, what's the running back we had that when we drafted Nick Chubb we kept running and we're like, oh
Carlos Hyde.
yeah, Carlos Hyde.
Oh,
Not
God,
on the
I
list.
forgot about him. Jeez. Crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. All right, another
Okay.
stump to flog.
In a
Thanks,
couple years,
Spence.
in 2 years, we're going to be arguing on this show about is it time to move on from Nick Chubb in favor of Jerome Ford?
All right, Nick,
That's going to be a
take us out.
conversation in
No, just stop it.
in about 790 days from now. We're going to be arguing about that.
Oh, boy,
We're
about
not.
the same amount of time that Deshaun Watson's been off a football field. Nick,
Maybe we'll have watched them by then. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Big Play Reflog. Go check out shacknews.com. So the best video game content in the game, no pun intended. Go drink some Labatt's. Go wear some GV gear. I see Dave.
go wear some shit.
I almost
Yeah.
say Shack News gear. I'm sure they have it, but the GV
Do that
gear is
too.
the best. I know Dave got that Bernie. We could match on the show sometime
Yeah,
soon.
buddy.
Yeah,
One of the greatest ever.
that's my favorite one that they've done. For
yeah,
sure.
it's incredible.
Look at
It
that
is
one.
well done.
Throwback. All righty. That's it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next week. Peace out.
So you
It's time! Streaming live from Cleveland, Ohio! Presenting the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight podcast of the world, the Big Play Reflog Show!